Welcome to another tech video. Today we're going to be having a look at another HP laptop. This one's a Core i5. It's a 15s-fq2016na. This one's a bit special. So what do we mean when we say it's a bit special? Well, it's slightly different from the previous devices that we've been having a look at from HP. Recently we've done reviews of AMD Ryzen 5 machines. This one is a Core i5. It's got slightly different connectivity options on it, so we're going to have a look at it today. So let's start off looking at the packaging. So it's the usual clamshell packaging in the lovely cardboard finish. Inside we've got a beautiful plastic bag that it's wrapped in. You can't get much better than that sort of plastic bag. Quite amazing. And then inside the device itself we'll have our usual little screen protector that we get. So let's have a look. There it is. Okay, so let's have a look at the finish. So this is in silver finish. With a sort of brushed aluminium effect and our sunken area for the chrome stick-on piece, which is the same on all of the HP laptops that we've been reviewing. So this one is a Core i5. It's 1135G7, which runs at I'm not sure what the clock speed is, normal clock speed, but it bursts up to 4.2 gigahertz. With turbo boost technology. It comes with an 8 meg L3 cache and it's a quad core. So chipset is integrated SoC. Now this I mentioned it was exciting because this is another laptop that ships with dual channel memory. So it comes with 8 gig in two 4 gig SODIMM slots. It comes with Intel Iris X graphics. And it comes with a 512 PCIe NVMe M.2 SSD drive. No optical drive. So let's have a look around the unit itself. So over on this side we have our power input, our power and hard disk LED, and then we've got two Type A ports. Now these are Type A 3.1, but these are 5 gigabit signaling rate. Let's move around to the other side of the device and we've got our HDMI 1.4B output. We've got a Type C port here. Now this is Type C. Again, it's a 5 gigabit signaling rate. We've got our hard disk indicator. We've got our power indicator next to it. And then over here we've got a combined headset jack. So this is headphone and microphone jack. And then we've got an SD card reader. So this one is bigger than the Ryzen 5 machine that we just looked at the other day. So this one comes with a full-size SD card, so you'll be able to read a variety of different cards in that. Okay, so let's have a look at the base of the unit. So underneath here we've got our air intake for the cooler, and then that will eject. So this one has just got a center grill at the back here. You can just about see it there. Where the warm air that's been sucked in from underneath will blow out over the front of the screen. Along the top here we've got our speaker grill. Now I'm not sure what the sound is on this, but normally it's Bang & Olufsen on these devices, so we'll have a look at that. And then looking round at the screen itself, so we've got a nice slim bezel around the sides, slightly wider bezel at the top, with our 720p HD camera and our dual array microphones either side. That's about it. Looking at the laptop keyboard, not sure if it's backlit at the moment, so we'll have a look at that. I don't believe it is, but you never know. Now there's no fingerprint reader on this device either, so we'll see how that performs. Okay, so let's now have a look at the insides and see what the upgrade options are. First thing that we notice is on the Ryzen 5 machine there was a screw hole at the front. There isn't on here. So all that we've got is 2 screws on the side, and there'll be screws under these plastic riser areas here. So to get under that, what we want to do is we want to get under the very corner so we can peel this off and get to the screws. We want to get the tape as well. Okay, so under there we've got 3 screws on the front. And on the back we've got 3 screws as well. So getting into the unit, you're going to need a Phillips screwdriver, a selection of prizer tools, plastic tools, and we use this metal one to start off the process. What we're going to do is we're going to remove these 3 screws at the back. Now these are slightly different screws, so we've got different sizes. So these ones in the corners, the dark screws, are M.2.5 by 6, and the silver screws are M2 times 6. So just be aware of where all the screws go. You don't want to put the wrong size screws back in the wrong holes. And then these 2 screws at the side, I am assuming that they are also M.2 by 6. And then once you've got the screws out, we're going to be looking for the most suitable place to get into the unit itself, and it looks like it's on this side. So we're going to take our riser tool and we're going to carefully see if we can get that in there, so we can get our plastic tool in there as well. There we go. And we're going to run that around the side so that it unclips. At the back here, it's a little bit trickier. There we go. And then you get round the edge. Round the edge is the most difficult bit. Once you're round there, there we go. It should release all the way round. Like that. And then we can close the lid. And just work our way around the last little piece at the back. There we go. The back side is a little bit trickier than the AMD Ryzen one was. There we go. Those clips are now removed. Just one more at the bottom. There we go, 2 there. And then that just unclips, removes. Okay, this is better. So nice to see that we've got some upgrade options here. Okay. So looking at the device itself, here are our 2 SODIMM chips. So this means that it's running in dual channel memory mode, which is excellent to see from HP. Well done. That's what we like. Over here we've got our Western Digital 512 NVMe drive. So nothing special about this, but if you want to upgrade it, then you can just remove this small screw here and change this out for a bigger drive, and then clone this one onto the drive, pop the new one in, and you're good to go. Over on this side, it's really nice to see that we've got sufficient space to mount a 2.5-inch drive, and the 2.5-inch SATA connector is this one just here. So you'll need a ribbon attachment and an enclosure that will allow you to fit a USB 2 drive in there and then attach the ribbon cable to this connector here. Looks like I'm not sure where the how the cage will fit in, but here are the screw holes for the 3 screws on the front. There was 2 on the side, so one was here by the look of it. That might be the attachment for the drive cage itself. Thinking about it, let's just have a look. Let's see. Yeah, it is. Okay, so this will be the mounting point for the cage that goes in here with the drive that you attach, and then the ribbon cable will go here. You'll need to do some research to find the correct one, because it won't be a universal fitting. It will be bespoke to HP, but you've got the ability to add a 2.5-inch SSD drive in here, which will give you a lot more storage if you don't want to upgrade the 512 drive that's already in here. So looking at the airflow, as I mentioned on the back of the case here, we've got our air intake for cooling, so you'll get plenty of airflow being sucked in. There's a little bit of heat dissipation from this, so that will come out through the air holes and also from the memory. And then you've got the air intake into here that blows the hot air out here, and your CPU will be under this block here. Here's your Wi-Fi card, no need to change that at all, but serviceability looks really good. So in the future, if your battery has a fault or problem, then this is relatively easy to change. So it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws, and then the battery unit will unclip from this block here. Insert your new battery unit, insert the screws, and you're good to go. So that's it in terms of the upgrade options of this device. So putting it back together is exactly the same in reverse. So you take your cover, place it over the top, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open it and clip it. Press the sides so they all clip in on both sides and at the back. Like that. So that's all now nicely seated back in. And then close the lid and insert your screws. So the 2 M.2.5 by 6 screws go in the outside holes on the back. And then we take our plastic strip for the front. The front is the slimmer one. And then we take our plastic strip for the back, which is the slightly higher one, because you want the back raised up a bit so the air can get into here. And that's it. Let's have a look at the OS now. So while this is doing its updates, as you can see, it's Windows 11 Home. We can talk about the screen itself. So the screen is a 15-inch screen. It's got a anti-glare. It's 250 nits brightness and 45% NTSC. And again, while we're going through the setup process, we'll talk about the weight. So it's 1.69. The power supply that comes with it is 45 watts. That's the 45 watt AC adapter. It's a 3-cell 41 watt hour lithium ion battery, and battery mixed life usage is 7 hours 15 minutes, and video playback on battery life is 9 hours and 15 minutes apparently. So what the software does it come with? 3D drive guard, HP audio switch, HP CoolSense, HP Jumpstart, Support Assist, McAfee LiveSafe, Netflix, ExpressVPN, and there's a 1-month trial for new Office 365 customers, all of which we ignore, and we install our own versions of antivirus software, and so we remove LiveSafe and so on and so forth. So now we're logged in. Before we do any setup, let's just have a walk through to see what gets bundled in. So we've got Alexa, which we're going to remove. We've got a Dropbox promotion. which we're going to remove. We've got ExpressVPN that we're going to remove. We've got HP Quick Drop that we remove. We'll come back to Live Safe, but we've got Personal Security that we're going to remove. And we've got My HP, which we always remove. Now these will all come back if you create a new user, so you've got to do this on every single user that you create. And that's it, everything else can stay. So it's really promotional stuff that they bundle in, which we get rid of. So that's it. So once that has removed, it'll prompt us to reboot, and then we're good to set up for our client. Next, we want to have a look at the webcam functionality and see if that's any good. So let's open the app up. So we've got some flicker, and that is because of our LED panel. So we have to set that to flicker reduction 50 Hz to get rid of that. Once that's done, that's it. So quality wise, very, very good. So let's, yep, really good quality for your online meetings, Teams, Zoom, and so on and so forth. Let's just check what it is. So 720p and 30 frames a second video quality. Let's have a look and listen to the sound. So I'm not going to be able to play any YouTube music. Okay, let's just play this.
It's a nice shirt. Oh, it is a nice shirt. Makes you want to walk like this.
Is HelloFresh worth the price? Absolutely.
Okay, so sound quality is excellent. It's nice, rich sound. It's not tinny at all, so thumbs up for that. So that was another quick look at an HP laptop, Core i5 machine, so different from the Ryzen 5 models that we previously looked at. Hope you found it useful. If you did, give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Just want to say thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.